All right, ladies and gentlemen. All right. Welcome in and welcome back to the podcast. It is your boy KJ for Sunday night message edition, all right, of A Different View. Today's topic, we're going to be talking about the armor of God, right? So it's been a while since your boy has gotten into a Christian space. I mean, it's been a minute. Matter of fact, I think it's been a minute since we've done the Sunday message, which is all well and good. You know, it's time to talk about other things of life. So many times, and we've spoken on the fact that the black preacher, this is an historical thing, right? And Christians get into a weird space. That's all right. We're going to talk about one here with a Klan member. A long time ago, we had did a episode, right, talking about the unfortunate truth of the violence that happens in Chicago, right? And folks shooting each other. We're not on TikTok, so we can say certain words a certain way without people losing their minds. Okay, violence is the violence is real. When the aunties and the grandmamas and the cousins and the brothers and the sisters lose their youth to gun violence, family, that's very real. Calling it unalive, it ain't gonna help. We got our own shooting down each other. That's what's going on. And it's not good. That's dysfunction, not functional. Right? And this is where we got to be okay talking about it. We pray for peace for people who have lost loved ones to gun violence, whether it be this year or any time in human history, right? And again, where things are at the base and at the heart and at the mind of thing, that's where we mean to tear it down. Again, as it is said in the script, we like doing that. Again, the knowledge came to me listening to a brother talking about words and phrases, the same thing that I do on this podcast. That the word scripture, the base of it is script, like a script in a play. And when you look at a lot of stuff in the scriptures, it's very evident that how it's the same as what's played out in a play in life. People have roles. You see folks doing certain things. That does not mean you don't have free will. Please, I understand where folks go with this in the mind. We've got choices, but we did not make up the game. Okay, we did not make up life. We didn't create the dirt. We didn't create the grass. We didn't create ourselves. We use the energy that has been put there for ourselves. And again, for those who disbelieve or believe different, that's your business. Your boy is not here to make fun of nobody. We're just saying from this perspective. And also in this episode, those who don't believe in Christianity, this is a good, again, just an encouragement. It's a good time to peer in the window just to hear, see what's going on, right? With that said, welcome in us, A Different View family, who believe in, who love after, who hunger and thirst, search and seek to find that which is a different view. Family, welcome in. Let's play a video here. It's going to be the backdrop of most of what we're going to talk about tonight. And again, although we're talking about something from a Christian perspective. Life, family, is all around us. Okay, this may sound a little Star Warsy, right? I might sound like Yoda for our Star Wars fans out there. Again, the Force, life, okay, created by the maker, by the creator, right? All around us, in us, it binds us, it keeps us together. That's a real thing, right? We have spoken on the laws of the universe, or at least one from Manhardeep Singh a few episodes ago, which you can find those. A good part to do this before we play this video, where you can find the podcast, right? Pandora, Spotify, and Apple, all under the same name, all in the same artist, KJ, right? Myself. And of course, the name of the podcast is, I was going to say pay-per-view because I got wrestling on the mind, fam. I've been watching a lot of wrestling lately, getting ready for SummerSlam. And the critique here with, how they're going to do this CM Punk Cody thing, which is just John Cena version 1 or 2.0 and John Cena 3.0, because CM Punk, bro, we got no respect for you no more, man. The voice of the voiceless, lost his voice a long time ago. Bro, you for the bag. You done admitted it. You for the bag. The indie scene, CM Punk went away a long time ago. And for those who are in the wrestling scene and know some things, they may agree with your boy. Okay. And some may disagree, which is fine. Okay. But, you know, the WWE got a lot of dollar suckers right now. And the integrity of wrestling, again, especially for your indie fan, for the underground wrestler, aka worker trying to make it. I don't know. It's looking a little, you know, again, Massa trying to close in. And in this video that we're about to show you is more proof of Massa trying to close in. We do not blame it on any president, okay? Even though you're going to hear a president's name in this video clip, we do not blame it on any president. We blame it on the social construct that is causing these things to occur. That's what it is. AKA another way is this sick soup we live in, this society, the way it has been built, not the way that it can be, the way it has been built. And we have to have a certain mentality where we give, again, as they say over in the church house, we give no place to the devil. Okay. Again, I want to qualify things because it's good to keep things in remembrance. Family, when we talk about so-called white person as devils, when we start talking about all different cultures that deal in certain things, I want you to know this is not everybody. I'm coming from your boy, right? And it's something we reiterate, but it needs to be constantly reiterated because people are trying to find a defense in the mind to be mean boys and girls to each other. This is not everybody. But again, in the script, it lets you know that there is a broad and narrow road. The ones that do not mean harm to the dark brown and tan skin tone races walk the narrow road. We believe that over here. We understand some of our brothers and sisters put everybody in the pot. I do not. Okay. And that's, you know, there's different podcasts out there that say different things. It is what it is. I had forgot, you know, not just Apple, Pandora, and Spotify, right? But also on YouTube. You can find the podcast on YouTube. The channel is at A Different View 80. And also, there is a web page for A Different View, right? And we use Facebook for that, right? So again, A Different View looking forward. So many times it slips my mind to talk about the Facebook webpage. But all places, subscribe, hit alerts so that you know when new episodes drop, so that you can see new content. Because we'll post some things, some historical stuff, this, that, and the other, like the word Sankofa. Right, from our Gahinian brothers and sisters, which means to get, and it's in the shape of a goose or a bird who is bending its neck backwards, right? And again, that means that you got the view to look backwards. But again, from our dear African brothers and sisters, check the power of this. It's not just to look backwards. It's to look backwards to get something to move forward. I didn't even know that was a thing until I saw it. Scrolling through and doing your boy's studies like he does. And thank God for the information coming to me, right? Thank God for shining the light of knowledge and truth, family, that will truly set you free. So let's get into this video, right? And then again, we're going to go about our day. These things have already been very determined, family. If people don't like that, I don't know what to tell you. But again, we all have our role to play. We all have a responsibility to each other because we are connected down here, right? So let's get into this video.
The Trump administration has changed the slavery exhibit at the president's house at Independence Mall in Philadelphia. Overnight crews showed up to remove and replace panels that tell the stories of 9 enslaved people. The move is bringing outrage and disappointment. Toronto Thomas from our station WPVI in Philadelphia has been following the court battle for months.
But we're actually from Texas.
Visiting Philadelphia and learning about America's history.
I've always wanted to come here and take a look.
But the story visitors see today is not the story that was here yesterday. Overnight, crews came to the president's house and removed panels detailing the stories of 9 people who were enslaved by President George Washington.
A thief in the night.
That's horrible.
Yeah.
That's a horrible thing.
The original panels have been replaced with these stories that put a bigger focus on American history and point to George Washington's evolving views on slavery. Not good enough for the people and groups who have spent months fighting the...
This thing is 2 minutes, so I don't want to belabor it any longer because we got other videos to play and information to go over here from the scriptures. We to be respectful. I want to be as respectful as possible as a citizen of the United States, so on and so forth. And again, right, where whose grandfather, right, dealt with sharecropping, so on and so forth. Okay. We really don't give a damn about George Washington. Okay. We don't care about a president who is okay setting up something at the cost of the natives lived here. Right. And when we say natives, we're just not talking to Cherokee. Okay. We're not just talking to Iroquois. We're not talking to Algonquin. We're not talking the Cree. We're not talking the Creek. We're not family. We mean them all. Right. We don't just mean the 5 civilized. We talking them all. The ones unnamed and the ones named. They wiped them out. It was genocide, family, and theft at the same time. There is no love for a legal setup over the top of that. You understand? We give no place to this idea that something was helping. These were invaders. Okay. They took advantage of people's good nature. They took advantage of human nature. Too much we keep hearing about who sold out who. Again, we have made this analogy on the podcast before, but we're going to continue with it, right? Because repetition is necessary for learning. That's something we haven't said in a while. If you see Steve beating on, abusing Susanna, do you help him do it? Right? Even if Susanna, right? Maybe there might be a, what do you call it? There might be a restraining order Susanna put in on that. This is real life, family, right? People put in restraining orders on folks beating them all the time, and that is normally men. So we're not getting into this thing where women do it too. We're not going there. The majority is men, so we gonna hold our genitalia, right? Like they do on the rap stage. We gonna hold it high. We gonna accept our wrong, right? So that we can allow healing to begin, right? That's for the brothers who are repentant. For the ones who are not, we understand this is where the excuses come in. We are not talking down to anyone, family, because we, again, all have sinned. Somebody done messed up somewhere, that includes me, but that does not mean we stay quiet now. This is the time to speak, to allow life that is in the power of your words, right? Not just death, but also life to come through and start the healing process. And Susanna put in she put in a restraining order against Steve, right? Or whichever name of man or woman you want to put in this scenario. And then she let him back in the house, and she shouldn't have, because she missed him and all this kind of stuff. Just because you see all that kind of stuff going on, does that mean you join in, or do you not? That's what we got going on today, family. You got people, we don't care about who sold out who. Who cares about who sold out who? We don't care about no African slave sold slave. Who cares? Wrong is wrong, family. That's the part where we stand in, right? Let's continue.
Trump administration, which originally removed the panels in January after an executive order.
What if there's a president next time that doesn't like the Liberty Bell? Do we remove the Liberty Bell?
The Trump administration defends its decision and says the new panels include stories.
I got to pause that just to put this thought in there. This is master system. So when you're talking about the Liberty Bell and anything that has erected the United States, the part where everybody talks about the wrong and they say you're non-patriotic because you don't all hail the United States. Of course, we don't all hail Massa. Who's all hailing Massa now? Again, this is an overwrite. For the video game fan out there, you overwrite a thing, right? You overwrite the memory, and then the file that was there is not there no more. That's what happened. See, this is a little different than the video game though, because again, the people groups are still here, right? This land is still here. Like these things are still here. We still hear from towns that have been burned down, i.e. like Tulsa, right? These things are still here. You can't remove it. We understand my man is trying to do that here, Mr. El Presidente, right? But it don't work. The sins of this European-based government cannot be erased any other way other than making amends to the dark, brown, and tan skin tone peoples, including your own, because again, we look at the word slave, which comes from Slav. Those are people in Europe that they enslaved and put in cages, family. This is something you can find online. It's very simple. Much of the stuff here that gives a basis for the defense against life that they're attacking is a simple search. It's not, you don't have to do the deep part. I'm not saying you shouldn't, okay? Because there's extra layers you can give to yourself. Again, like for instance, talking about the Argentinians who just lost to Spain, right? And again, that's their massa, okay? We're not going to get into our brown cousins right now. I'm not even going to go there. All right. But what we are saying is that is historic on the books. That's their map. That's massa for them. The Spanish are massa for our South American brothers, and many of them. Okay. If not damn near, I say all of them. Somewhere along the line, Spain has had a lot to do with colonizing South America. Family, when we talk about our Argentinian brothers having an issue, right, with FIFA for the flag that the team showed at the end of their last match they won, where the Falkland Islands don't belong to Europe. They're right. We can play this game about which indigenous people was there or if they visited there when they really wasn't living there. That's the same hustle game they play over here. And then years later, you start finding out which indigenous tribe was this, that, and the fifth. It's the same thing that happened with our brothers and sisters in Australia, right? Our Maori brothers and sisters. It does not matter where. When Europe comes in contact, family, with the people who lived on whatever lands they came in contact with, it's a similar story. You got to ask yourself why. Again, what we said over here from the Bible, we give no place to the devil. That's not God related, none of that. Okay. So again, as far as the Liberty Bell is concerned, bro, you ain't got to worry about that. This is a video here on off of ABC News Live that you can find, on TikTok, right? This is about 4 days ago that this mess went down with El Presidente. And you can't remove, again, the stain of sin you can't remove, bro. You can't preach around it. You can't preach over the top of it. None of it. It's still there. Abel's blood is crying from the ground, family, right? Let's continue.
Of slavery. The Department of the Interior saying in a statement, quote, "These new panels are full of historical context and highlight the momentous events that took place in the president's house." U.S. Park Police now guard the site.
Just to have the level of security that I've experienced, this shows that, something is terribly wrong.
This all comes after months of back and forth, with the city of Philadelphia originally winning its lawsuit and having some of the original panels put back up. But last month, a higher court ruled that the previous judge does not have jurisdiction and that the federal government owns the president's house site. Mayor Sherelle Parker said, quote, "I will continue to fight on behalf of everyone who supports the core belief all of our history must be told." It's a duty that volunteers have taken on, reading from binders the stories that were once told here.
We need to face our history, we need to deal with it, and maybe promise it will never happen again.
We're going to stop right there because the back half of it is just the reporter who broke the story asking another reporter in Philly, will they keep on fighting, so on and so forth, which they're going to. We get it, as they should. Okay. I found it apropos when you're looking at this video that, again, the last person you hear is a white woman talking about the importance of history. For the black men and women, or let me say it this way, for dark brown and tan skin tone peoples, we put tan folk in there. I understand folks gonna have an issue with that. We put tan people in there because there's these shades here, right? For colorism purposes. Okay. Whether we want to look at the quote unquote discredited Willie Lynch letter or wherever colorism may find its place, family, we also cast that down as well, that imagination, right? The Bible talks about, I understand our Christian brothers and sisters like going to this spiritual space to avoid the natural. We get it, of which we are judged for here, right? Again, your brother's not invited to too many of the social circles, or definitely not a lot of the denominational stuff. It's not. I'm not going to ignore these things to put up something else for denominational purposes. I'm not going to do that. Okay, that's not right before me and God. I'm not cool with that. For however anybody else gets down, that's your business. We're not knocking anyone. We're just saying these things you can clearly see, and we're not looking away from them. Again, for people to be okay with your boy, that's not what it is. Christ, God takes me as I am, so we just gonna show that in real time. That's how that works. Okay. Just for those that may have an issue, right? For those who do not, we're glad that you're here and you're along for the ride. The family, is just time to stand up for to take the rock song, right? Stand up. It's your right to party, right? Again, the party of life been going on. That's why you can go to your Caribbean brothers and sisters and they got Carnival going on, which is a celebration of their freedom, but still it's a party. Everywhere is a party, family. Matter of fact, when you get to a lot of our indigenous brothers and sisters, right, scattered across the globe, somewhere there's a celebration, a festival, a party of some sort. That's how we get down. A lot of these different things that you find, folks aren't really wearing any clothes. Bikini Atoll, where they pull the word bikini from, that women are wearing bikinis right on the beach in Miami and everywhere else, right? Again, very little clothes. Your native brothers and sisters, the same kind of thing. Yeah, some of them had garments, but the same thing. You won't find native. This is how you're made. You come out the womb with no clothes. All of a sudden now you got older, now you have to have clothes on. What are you doing? Listen, we do not discredit those who choose to wear clothes. You can go over to Europe and you can see all the ornate different clothings. Okay, we get it. All right, with the poofy shoulders, and we get it. It's not even really a diss per se. This is your culture. Then just don't mock the other ones here who this is how they dress. It's what it is. It doesn't make them pagan and unholy. This is what it is. Right? Let's get into this idea here about the armor of God. Okay. Again, by which we can withstand all the fiery darts of the evil one. Again, we just finished talking about some fiery darts, right? Colorism, ageism, sexism. These are fiery darts. The woman has the place in the home, brothers, and if you start to get to the point where you're talking now about being the head of the household, and you're in a team, you're on a team. You can't have no house without the wife, right? We're just talking from a Christian perspective right now. Other beliefs, etc., just peer in the window with your boy for a second, right? You can't have no house without the wife. It's not going to work. You've been told you can't do this alone, okay? No, for some families, this is not for all, but we don't put a whole lot of weight on this, but children are also part of that house, right? There are multiple sections that make up a home. So before you get on this fact that you are the head of, you can't be the head of nothing without them. This is the same thing, unfortunately, that happens out in the field, right? Out with massa on your job. Because the boss, in order to, and it's for greed. It's for greed. That's why we say check some of this stuff at the door, because it's not holiness no more. It's just for money. Okay. And whether we want to believe it or not, that's how the man discredits your job, your importance, whether it's packing out boxes, helping customers on the register line, or whatever it is. This is how they can come in. This is how this AI thing is coming in. We play around in a space, family, that is highly dangerous. Okay? If they can discredit you in one place, what's stopping them from anywhere else? Nothing. Not a thing. Ephesians chapter 6. Right? This is we like doing Ephesians chapter 6 a lot because, again, this is where people like to set up a lot. Okay? They like to post up here and like to they go in. Okay? So we're gonna go in. Just in a different way. Right? Different view. Verse 1, children, obey your parents in the Lord, for this is right. Verse 2, honor thy father and mother, which is promise, which is the first commandment with promise. We're reading from the King James Version. We like to call that the scene of the crime because this is where a lot of this stuff comes from. Verse 3, that it may be well with thee and that thou mayest live long on the earth. The idea of honoring those who are honorable. Family, we have to put that in there because, again, mothers and fathers or fathers and mothers are hiding behind the fact that they can be absolute jerks to their kids and they're supposed to still honor them. That does not work that way. There is a blessing, I can say without question, for kids who navigate their way through these knuckle-headed parents, holding them back, holding them down, mistreating them on any sort. And any parent who is not like that ought to stand up for these kids being mistreated. Again, as you navigate through this kind of thing of honoring those who show high levels of honorability, to say it that way, right? Yes, it will go well with you. Nobody said you're not going to go through nothing in this life, but it is well with you. And you'll live long on the earth. Believe that. But look, we can get into like, oh, well, everybody was healthy and they did this, and this, and they still died early. Again, take the defenses out of your mind and start at the base point, and then whatever else happens, let it happen. Right? You fathers provoke, verse 4, your fathers provoke not your children to wrath. This is normally a verse that we skip over. Again, if fathers are there, we understand, right? You ain't the head of the household, brother, without the mother. So again, fathers and mothers, provoke not your kids to wrath. I digress. I'm gonna leave it alone. But bring them up in the nurture and admonition of the Lord. We get into verse 5 and 6. We're going to leave 5 and 6 alone because, again, this is just more opportunity to set a defense in the mind for folks who love massa. Because anybody who's a manager over somebody and you treating them like trash, none of those next two verses have anything to do with you. This would be for bosses who care about their workers and love them and respect them and fight for them in massa system. But again, I digress, right? Again, verse 7 is also part of that, so we're going to skip that one. So is 8, so is 9. But 9, we'll start off on this part, right? You masters do the same things unto them, forbearing, threatening. That means put that part away. We ain't threatening nobody. So intimidation that happens on the job that they say doesn't happen right about the time somebody's standing up for unions in retail stores, etc., etc. If you's a holy master, because we got Christian bosses out there, right? You wouldn't be doing no threatening. You'd be standing with them, right? See, this is right about the time where the mind goes, because see that money and that check you got and stuff, man, that thing gonna start to go sideways. Yo, KJ, you know, it's really cool you saying all this, bro, but it don't really, yeah, Knowing that your master, we have one above us, family, right? Okay. Knowing that your master also is in heaven, and with that master, there is no respecter, there's no respect of persons with him. Finally, my brethren, then we get into this part with the armor of God. See, you got to get that part right first, family, before we start talking about anything that's an ability we can use spiritually. And when you have all of this, you know, Baptists don't like Presbyterians, don't, it just means older people. Presbyter just means elder, right? Or older people, okay? That we give respect. Again, ageism, one of those things, we cut it out. Whether it's old to young or young to old, we both have purpose. We both are to look out for each other. This is why some of these things from the generations that the elders have grown up with, family, we had no problem in the beginning of this podcast and we stand on it. The pool of knowledge is there, but there may be a little bit of pee and poo in the pool. We might have to do some vacuuming. Everybody might have to get out the pool for a second. Because when you telling me that woman's supposed to be Susie Homemaker and these Negroes can't be over here and there and everywhere around the square, there may be some pee and poo in the pool. And that part of the knowledge that comes from the elders is wrong. This also includes colorism. We ain't looking down on our high yellow brothers and sisters. We're not doing that. No. Okay. We're all one. Okay. Of course, we check at the door anybody who has a weird sideways mentality, trying to hurt people and abuse people. You know, a brother brought a really interesting part to me that just skipped my mind, right? Between the words use and abuse. Real simple, right? But again, you can skip over things. That's why it's good to talk to each other about things, family, right? Abuse is just dealing with the negative of use. We all, family, have a connection where we use each other, right? Let's do this for a second. Just real quick. You know, the word use. Definition of the word use. We could go into the, you know what, let's go straight to it and do the etymology. Sometimes I like layering it in layers between etymology and definition, because it gives you more of a full view. Okay. But let's just go right into it. Use, the verb, back in the 1200s, okay? Spelled U-S-E-N, so usen, right? This is French. Employ for a purpose, okay? From Old French, user, or user, and my apologies, not on my French accent right at the moment. Employ, make use of, practice, frequent. It's like you frequent a person, it's use. You hit up a business, you're using that business, family. This is why it's so critical for free market trade and stuff to come back again. Again, what the man overwrote with his economy the way it is, that's why it can't work the way it's working, family. Somewhere along the line is going to be breakdowns. And for people kind of holding on to get their little coin that they are not getting enough of themselves, because again, massa needs patsies. So the little bit of money he give you is going to be your 30 shekels. We'll use the Judas thing from the Bible since we're talking about biblical stuff right now. To be able to sell out your brothers and sisters. That's how it works. But you're going to hold on to that 30 shekels because you're looking at the wrong thing. I digress. So make use of. See, this is another part, stem from the Latin UTI, to make use of. We have to make use of each other down here, family, right? Profit by. We profit through each other. Take advantage of, not abuse, but there is an advantage to each other. This ain't the time to look down on the hustler. Again, that is unless you're spreading poison through the hood. We ain't down with that, right? But the ability to hustle is necessary, right? Be able to flip businesses, do things, family. You need that in order to have a whole community grow. That's why the small business will always be at the top of the game. That's the way life works, through small businesses. Mom and pop shops, absolutely, 100%. Enjoy, dig that. Use or using each other is an enjoyment thing. It ain't supposed to feel like you're being misused or abused, correct? Applying each other. The Bible talks a lot about the ministry of reconciliation that we have to each other. We may need to start applying that, family. Of course, consume is in there. You have to be careful eating. Again, consume is like eating of yourself. We're not on that level, right? So let's get back into this real quick. Finish this off. Wait a second. We're in a different verse. In different verse. We're gonna tie that in a minute. Finally, my brethren, right? Again, we know of the one who is no respecter of persons. Finally, my brethren. And we're gonna land the plane, family. So we're coming to the end here. Be strong in the Lord and in the power of his might, okay? This is a little bit of an explanation of the power of what that might looks like, by the way. Put on the whole armor of God that you may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. We know devil means adversary. We're not just talking about the one under the ground. For our Christian brothers and sisters, just put a pause on that for a second. Adversary, folks here in this reality that are adversary, family. We're talking above the ground, not the one under, not right in your face. The Bible is giving you stuff to be able to handle these folks, right? To be able to be of use for each other. Okay. Anyway, armor. Let's just again, this is not to be mean. Okay, this is what it is. What are armor? Weapons, armor, equipment, or arms. This is the etymology of the word armor. Equipment. Let's go with equipment. We like going with weapons so much. Let's go with equipment. This is from Latin, armatura, right? Armatura. Equipment. Because the word armor is stemming from the Latin. That is that word we just said, right? Tools. Okay. Get away from the battle, get away from all that kind of stuff. What can we use in this life to do? Let's go back. Let's go back. Ephesians 6. This is verse 11 that we're reading this from. Wiles, right? The equipment of God right? To be able to stand against. I'm not really, stand against, to stand up, right? Having done all the stand. This is to outlast. Wiles. So, wiles coming from wile. See if my computer will pull this up. Yep. Tricks. That adversary got nothing but tricks, family. You know what I'm talking about? We talking about nothing but tricks. This is a good time to drop this in here. Listen at this.
It's a little bit of both. I mean, we've got more immigrants right now. Immigration is costing the United States American taxpayers $320 billion a year. And that's illegal immigration. I mean, that money could be spent on other things like helping our veterans.
This is your Imperial Wizard in North Carolina, right? This is a YouTube video you can find. Soft white underbelly, Ku Klux Klan member interview Chris. This is public knowledge, so it ain't like he gonna get mad that this is what he believes. We just saying what we believe, right? Okay. It gets a little more shocking from beyond it. We see, family, we said that you got different types going on here. We have made this whole thing here when folks get on God. This is for the folks peering in the window now. Like, they don't believe in God, this, that, and the other. We have no problem saying you're talking two different ones. Because if you're talking about the one that's okay, commissioning people to go taking from lands and hurting and killing people, and they're only evil, right? And then you use that as a basis by which all that mess happened during the American Revolution and anywhere else Europe has had in contact with indigenous folks, like we started off in the podcast talking about. I'm gonna separate that one from the one who died for humanity. Do you understand? The one who shed blood for my healing as a dark man. Come on now. We talking two different things here. It's cool to play that game all day long and in Sunday school and in church, and we talking two different things here. That's not the same God that loved me. Not the same. But I digress. Let's just, again, we talking tricks, family. Armor, again, equipment, tools that you can use to stand against the tricks of the adversary.
Helping the homeless, whether they black or white. The Klan is not a hate group. Like I tell people, we're not about hate. We just want to live separate from the other races, just like the Bible intended. That's one.
So in history, sir, when you're taking crosses, the Holy Cross, and you're putting them on the lawns of black folks as intimidation tools, what is that supposed to be? Is that not hate? This is why we say to our black brothers and sisters, we don't need to be intimidating nobody. We don't need to do none of that. That mess is trash. That's what they do. We do the opposite. Again, we use the tools of God to help us stand against the tricks of the devil.
One of the things the preacher showed me a long time ago, he was at a Klan rally, and I recognized a lot of Klan rallies we had a lot of preachers there, and and he showed me the Bible verse, Leviticus 19:18, because y'all
dig that. Why preachers? What in heaven and earth and hell is preachers doing at the Klan rally? Let's go.
Always hear people holler, love thy neighbor, but then when you read the verse for yourself, it says, love thy neighbor of thy people. And my people are white people, so that's exactly what I'm doing, is carrying out, God's wishes.
Keep a note of that little part there where he talks about who you're supposed to love and whose people is whose people. Again, we said tools to help you stand against the tricks. This is for every culture, by the way, not just black folks. Don't, when you hear me keep repeating this, again, there may be groups at the top of the list or at the top of the ladder or the bottom of the ladder, right? Which we always will say is the dark brown and tan skin tone folks, but this thing goes to everybody, okay? This is a trick is a clever ruse, family. When you look up the definition, which we've done already before on the podcast, this is a clever, don't take folk for granted. They're using the good brain God gave them just for mess, okay? Let's continue.
Because I want to love my people and help my people just as every other race has the right to help and benefit their race. I mean, that's it. They should have the right to do that. And I feel right now in America, we're losing our right as white people, as the white race, to defend ourselves or to even speak out. You know, if you say you're proud to be white, they pretty much label you a racist. And to me, that's just racist is just a made-up word. I mean, it was made up by a communist Jew named Leon Trotsky in 1936, was the first time that it was used during a debate, and he was using it to cut people down. And if that's the way they're going to use it, then I guess I would be considered a racist. And I'm
Now, we want to put that out there for folks, whether or not that reference is true or not, okay? We want to be very clear about something. We are connected as human beings. We're connected in the animal kingdom and the human kingdom is connected. The plant kingdom, everything is connected, family. You know, we pray for the native tribes in Canada that have lost their homes, their way of life to these horrible wildfires in Canada. These are our brothers and sisters. We pray nothing for the best for them, nothing but rebuilding from death, rebuilding from the ashes. I heard a powerful thing from a native sister on TikTok talking about the crow, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. And I won't retell the story to an extent, but where you see the darkness on a crow and then sometimes the sun hit it and you can see that iridescence was the actual color of a crow. Again, I may be mistelling it. So anybody in the comments, you drop the story in there, right? Family, we are connected. Yeah, whatever this man talking about, just love it. Look, listen. You can have love for your own people. Ain't nobody saying there's nothing against that, but you don't do it at the cost of other folks. You just don't. Okay? And that's what all of this mess is. This is what the United States is. We did this. We in July and we did this masses dance. Okay, of America 250 and all that kind of thing. Again, it was at the cost of the people already living here. So we don't overlook that to then be like, hey, this is cool. No, it's not. It's already based in sin. Let's continue.
I'm proud to be a racist.
And the Klan is a Christian organization?
Yes, Christian organization. We read the same Bible everybody else does. We just actually read all the Bible instead of skip through like he's
You heard it out this man's mouth. The Klan is a Christian organization. So brothers and sisters, when you listen to certain of your brothers, look, this is not for division, right? Christ talked about bringing division and a sword. Family, when you look at that, this is not Christ doing the divisive stuff here. We're talking about exposing the mess. If you're telling me that this is a Christian organization, we telling you're talking two different Christian organizations. That's all we're saying. Okay? This mess is weird. You look at the word weird. Weird is dealing with something that's not the usual or something that was not set in line. Okay? And either side can poop sling back and forth with this. Family, at the end of the day, listen. People are one. They have different borders where they're living, okay, whether you believe in Pangea or the way the planet is right now. And there needed to be, at the time of colonialization, that was interrupted. Anything you see now is hybrids of weird. It's against the natural order, whether it be in economy, whether it be in healthcare, whether it be in education. We just finished playing you a video about how they playing with education. That's a learning technique for people to learn about slavery, to learn about how this mess started. You got banks that have benefited from slavery. They've admitted it on the books. Those are also videos you can find online. The labor environment, family, you know the labor environment has been messed with by the man. You ain't supposed to enslave nobody for you to get rich off them. That's crazy. It's another word. The mentally disabled, family. See, when we use the word crazy, this thing is reserved for mass. So do you understand? You went against the natural order. That's not how God made this. So we don't know what this man talking about a Christian thing, but we're going to let it go.
Judeo-Christian preachers do today.
What are the aspects of Christianity that the Klan is based on?
Well, it's based our ritual, the Klan ritual, like when you get naturalized, or which naturalization ceremony is a Klan ceremony. We use the Bible to swear you in and to become a full-fledged member of the Klan. So, I mean, we want to stick by the laws of God. And, you know, you ain't going to make it to the kingdom of heaven unless you stick by the laws of God. So that's one thing we try to teach in our family. You know, this was taught 30, 40 years ago. I remember, you know, you wouldn't see colored people mixing and going into a church 30 years ago, not in this state. And now the preachers are allowing it. And to me, it's sickening. And it's sickening to see these preachers sell out their congregations and damn their own congregation straight to hell by pushing all this equality nonsense, knowing that the Bible says all the races should be separate, and that when Christ comes back, he says he shall separate all races again, separate all people by their tongues and put them in their own nations. That's in Matthew 15.
All right, cool. So you know, it is unfortunate, right, that humanity is in this level. That they're here talking a lot of this weird kind of, now again, when you look throughout Matthew 15, it lets you know that out of the heart, this is verse 19, proceeds evil thoughts, murderers, adulteries, fornications, theft, false witness, blasphemies. And then you're going to have this man talking about what God is going to reset. What you're going to see God reset and balance is where mess like that coming out of a person's mouth is not a thing anymore. That's what you're going to wind up seeing. So it's unbiblical for us to blend together. Again, the honeybee, cross-pollination is a thing, family. If the honeybee can get pollen on it from other plants, I'm pretty sure that the people groups can blend together. The black man can be with the Asian woman. The Asian man can be with the black woman. So on and so forth. The black man can be with the white woman. The white man can be with the black woman. Whatever you fell for, family, from that Racial Integrity Act of 1924, know that that is mess from the devil. Again, adversary. People who are adversarial to folks living and loving together. Plain and simple. So if this man is right, somebody please tell me where this comes in.
Verse 25, nor is he worshipped with men's hands as though he needed anything, since he gives to all life, breath, and all things. And he has made from one blood every nation of men. And he has made from one blood every nation of men. And he has made from one blood every nation of men. And he has made from one blood every nation of men. For he has made from one blood, 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 one blood.
You know, we apologize for the preachy nature of this for those who may get upset. I do not, right? But at the end of the day, family, yeah, we're just going to let it continue.
Every nation of men to dwell on all the face of the earth, and have determined their pre-appointed times and the boundaries of their dwelling. Now listen.
So where people get a little weird here, and shout out to Dr. Fred Price, right, for that one, right? We gave credit to the Imperial Wizard of the Klan over there in North Carolina. So we'll give a shout out to Dr. Frederick K.C. Price here. May he ever rest in peace, in the peace of God, right? Race, religion, and racism. What a powerful, powerful thing. Again, we find this online. We'll give credit. Renew your mind, right? Marvin Fant. This is something you can find. Race, Religion, and Racism, Part 3. There's multiple parts to this because he broke it up so people could listen to it. And again, it's a powerful, impactful sermon back in the 90s. Again, Christians don't like going here because much of this stuff, clearly, if the Klan is Christian, then we already know some mess up in the house of God that's unnecessary. Correct? Again, this is why I don't get on my Muslim brothers and sisters. I don't get on my Buddhist, Hinduist, Taoism, atheist. We don't have time to Wiccan, our Warlock brothers, Druids. We don't have time with the amount of mess that's in the church. We don't have time to be talking about no one else. That mess is scapegoatism, family, plain and simple. We have enough to deal with. The story of the Good Samaritan shows it clearly that holy people okay walking right past you while you're bleeding and dying in the street. That's why Christ is talking about it. From one blood, okay? All the people groups. I understand we play with this, there's a couple different creations. Listen, from one, even if you pull that the second creation from one source. And here we are. Living in the earth. This is why historically you find any time the colonizer come around, family, there's people already there. This is why we said the thing with the Falkland Islands a myth, family. It's mass as myth. People visited and frequented that land before Europe got there, and they had no right to it. They made it up. That's the whole thing about Manifest Destiny. They made up an excuse. This is why when we get on migration and immigration laws, you made that mess up. You had no right to where you were, especially from Ellis Island all the way back. And if we're repentant about it, listen, it's about dwelling in harmony now. And what it looked like when we don't. I am about 50 some odd minutes in here. Let's give you what these tools are. We've been talking this whole back and forth, so let's set it up. That was verse 11 in Ephesians 6. Here's the tool, right? Verse 12. For we wrestle not, and we talked about this on the podcast. We do not wrestle against the people. It's not the people, family. We don't wrestle against flesh and blood. Principalities, powers, and rulers. We could get into. I don't know if I did it for time's sake. I don't even think I did. Did I do withstand? Yeah, I did do withstand. To remain strong, unharmed, and unaffected. Again, when facing something powerful, damaging. Again, to remain strong. Because again, we've been harmed and we've been affected by PTSD is a real thing, family. When you're talking with your black brothers and sisters, your brown brothers, yeah, you can see it. Again, we do it with us. That's the colorism part. And we do it outside of us with other people. Again, there is a way by which we can, to hold up. This is some other stuff here that comes from this, to hold up against extreme conditions. And we have been, again, it says that slavery is called a peculiar institution. This ain't victim-splaining. We saying what we went through. Maybe many times men would be able to get a lot of stuff they need, and women as well, if we would stop downplaying our pain. Anyway, that's withstand. Principality, I do have some of these things still. A small monarchical territory ruled or governed by a prince. That word prince is already there again, and I think I took prince off there. Yeah, I'm almost positive I took prince off there. Again, you just, something given to somebody else, family. This is what we're standing against. This is what it is. Again, you have good and evil down here, family. You have both powers down here. So there's a way you stand up against the thing. It's not the people per se. Again, it's not saying you don't defend yourself. Okay, somebody trying to hurt you, so come on now. Your brother ain't going there. The darkness of this world. Okay, spiritual wickedness in high places. Therefore take unto you all the tools, whole armor, all of this. Another way of saying all of the tools, because you may need one of them, a couple of them, right? Like these movies where everybody they got that backpack full of stuff, right? Our military brothers and sisters got, they're sitting there and they jogging miles with all this. Yeah, just have all of it ready for you, that you may be able to withstand in the evil day, having done all to stand. Verse 14, stand therefore. Oh, here's some of the tools. Truth. around your loins. Truth. We're not going to get into, you can look, again, some homework for folks. Look at the word truth. Truth, family. Study, science, again, history. Look to these things. Like this man tearing down this stuff in Philly. Again, truth will help you around. And we always do this belt buckle pants thing that they do in the church. Again, truth, family. Okay. Next, righteousness. Harmlessness is a way that I had heard righteousness said. Okay. Let me see if I can just do this real quick. And we may do this as the etymology instead of morally justifiable, honorable, honesty, free from guilt. See, morally justifiable gets a little weird, especially in certain conscious circles, because moral, like, you know, evil and good gets a little, even we had read that in the laws of the universe. This kind of idea where, you know, to a person shooting up like the actual thing that happened in Buffalo. So the person is shooting up the black supermarket where people is, you know, to him, that's not evil. That's good, right? The good part would be people standing against that, right? Okay, so again, get over into honorable and free from guilt, where we can go around, family, and we're not doing things to hurt each other. We're doing things to help each other. That's righteousness. Okay. I know we like to do the right standing with God thing, but see, that kind of stuff shows up in this natural realm as harmless things. I'm not trying to swindle you out for your money. So when we get into business deals together as family, because again, family is business and business is families of it. Again, Ford, name them. It doesn't matter which ones. These car businesses, these retail stores, they're all family businesses. So this idea that you don't get involved with family, and we need to be getting involved with the right family. That's the thing, which does take some doing on our part. And you're gonna make mistakes along the way. That's okay. This is the part where that doesn't mean the thing is wrong. That meant we stepped on a landmine, right? So again, righteousness. Next, that's on the breastplate. We're gonna come back to that breastplate. Feet shod with the preparation of the gospel of peace. The good news of peace, completeness, wholeness is what peace means. What do you think that looked like for the people groups across the planet? Anyway, let's continue. The shield of faith. Belief is a shield, family. Faith and belief mean the same thing. Faith means belief. So I'm not going there. Okay. Faith means belief. Okay. Salvation, that's being set apart, family. The sword of the spirit. Life is, again, spirit, life, essence, which is the word of God. Okay, so now when you're looking at that, we understand deconstruction is a thing, and that's great. Look to some of the stuff here that really does mean something, though. Again, we're okay on that part, but don't throw out the baby with the bathwater. There's a lot of other stuff in the script that is helpful, like this. Life coming from words, coming from the maker. Now, we said stay, you know, that breastplate thing, right? How do we activate all these things? We're going to go into 1 Thessalonians 5, and this is where we're going to end. Right about 58 minutes. And about 7% power on my phone. 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 8. But let us who are of the day. Now this thing is talking about, again, all this kind of foolishness you just finished hearing from the, listen, okay? Again, verse 5, you're children of the light, children of the day. We are not of the night nor the darkness. This is not making fun of anybody. We're just saying the two differences. Therefore, let us not sleep, aka like our black brothers and sisters said in the 60s and 70s, stay woke, as do others, right? So don't be sleeping like others do. Clearly, so other people are sleeping. So when you got a president, okay, taking down some stuff that is the holy part, again, it's a set apart part. It makes up United States history. What you did to folks' ancestors. How a system now is set up today off that mess then. Don't sleep. I think Childish Gambino said it right? Anyway, we're going to leave it alone. We'll leave it alone. As do others, let us watch and be sober. Okay? For they that sleep, sleep in the night, and they that be drunken are drunken in the night. But let us who are of the day be, again, verse 8, 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, who are of the day be sober, putting on the breastplate of love and faith. Faith and love. And for an helmet, the hope of salvation. The hope, family. People tried to drive eager expectation out of folks' mind. It is wrong. We hope in things because that is part of the game down here. And hope deferred maketh the heart sick. That's what your Bible says. We cause sickness to each other by keeping back our eager expect. This is what the word hope means. We had like 2 minutes here. I said we were going to do the end a while ago, right? My apologies. It's been a minute. It's been a minute since your boy got on this one. So a desire for a positive outcome combined with an expectation or a belief that it is possible. See, again, expectation. Stay with expectation, because some people get weird with the word belief. Okay. When anybody is, skyscrapers back in the day, they had the expectation on how to do it. They had a positive outcome, a desire to get that thing done. Of course, many skyscrapers that were built, our native brothers and sisters did it. But again, an eager expectation, a desire for positive outcome, family. Hope of salvation, hope of being set apart from this mess in this life. How do you do that, family? It's time to start loving each other. When we do this, every time we do one of these sermons on this thing, please remember 1 Thessalonians 5. None of this stuff works out. A breastplate, that's covering your chest, your heart, the whole nine, that whole area, okay? The driving force to the body, the heart, the last I checked, pumping blood everywhere, right? To the brain, everything. So that thing with truth and stuff, family, don't work without love. We've also seen the word love shown in the Bible, especially in Corinthians, as charity. That's how it's said in the King James Version. The voluntary, again, when you look up charity, the voluntary wanting to help someone, family. The communities are built off of love. You look at Tulsa, you look at you everywhere. Down in Florida, the Carolinas, Georgia, everywhere. People pooling their money together, helping each other when calamities happen, right? Hurricanes, earthquakes, tornadoes. People come in and love, family. That's the driving force behind it. All different people groups. So I don't know what this man talking about, just looking out for the white folks. This is one blood, everybody. This is why we shout out one love over here. That's where we stop, family, today, right? Family, we thank you for walking this road with your boy today. Again, love is the activating thing behind all these things. They don't work without it, right? Truth is cool. All these things are good, family. The driving force, we can do the faith thing, and love, family. Love for your kids will cause a parent to do some of the most awesome things for them, including giving their life for them. Love for your husband and wife will cause you to do some of the most awesome things, even reconciling after the most horrible things in a marriage, family. This is why we don't judge. Each person has their own thing to go through. Love for the employee will cause an employer to do some of the that's where you get Labor Day from, family. That's the history of Labor Day, standing up for workers. Love for your people is what caused slave revolts, family, because it's wrong for the slave owner to misuse his workforce or to misuse the slave. It was wrong, right? Again, family, these are the things that we leave for folks to think on, right? Because this is the thing, is that it's time for us to think again, right? As we start the school year, it's time to start thinking again, okay? Critical thinking skills are necessary to be able to push the youth forward long after their parents are gone. And that's what we leave you with, family. Thank you for walking this road with your boy today. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I love y'all. God bless y'all. And until next time, and as always, look to find the beauty in a different view.